Now you are hearing the voice of Xiting Tong from China Agricultural University. My research is about remittances, and the topic is the impact of remittances on entrepreneurial behavior in the place of origin. I accomplished research with my tutor, Lilini Corey. First of all, I'd like to clarify the definition of remittances. Remittances is money sent by migrants to the household in the place of origin. It can play a significant role not only on household finances but also on a stimulus to local entrepreneurship in the place of origin. Still, the success of these entrepreneurial initiatives depends on the circumstances of different households and key socioeconomic conditions of the places in question. Our aim is to identify common key elements enabling and stimulating entrepreneurship. Today's presentation will be divided into three parts. The first is literature review, impacts of remittances on the place of origin, and second, findings and conclusion, and the third one, acknowledgement. Remittances can have both positive and negative impacts depending on the context and scale observed. At a national level, they can act as an economic buffer during hard times in the countries of origin, but it can also increase the value of the currency at a micro level, displace local incomes, and increase local inequalities. It can also inflate prices and create a migrant syndrome, as if the only pathway for success would be to live abroad. At a household level, remittances can be helpful during crisis periods and improve income, as well as fulfill daily needs of the family and reduce risks and vulnerability. On the other hand, it may also generate dependencies and exacerbate inequalities. But generally speaking, positive impact of remittances prevails. What's more, we are also noting that it is core to remind the migrants' characteristics such as gender, age, educational level, and work experiences influence the amount and frequency of remittances the migrant is able to send. All in all, the impact of remittances in the place of origin will also largely depend on how household members use it. Some will spend it on education and more long-term investments, while others might need to use it for more urgent and short-term necessities. This depends not only on individual preferences, but also on the conditions of the households and of the place of origin. We have identified core elements influencing households' use of remittances in different contexts, focusing on particular characteristics which encourage entrepreneurial activities. We identified in key studies in the field several factors stimulating the receiving household to invest in entrepreneurial activities. The most prominent elements found were business environment, local policies, economic development in the host country, the mindset of remittance receivers and senders, the household's income, the household's culture, and kinship relations. Adopting appropriate policy and creating a better business environment play an important role for the use of remittances in the place of origin. In low-income countries, controlling corruption and improving accountability have been the main elements fostering investments of remittances in human capital, while in high-income countries, key factors like government effectiveness and political stability have played the strongest role in this direction. In middle-income countries, regulatory quality on development of human capital has played the strongest role. Another aspect strongly influencing entrepreneurship by households receiving remittances is the economic development in a host country. Places experiencing unemployment and sub-employment problems, such as the rural area of developing countries, tended to experience increasing brain drain and encouragement to work abroad instead of investing remittances for starting local businesses. The mindset of remittances receivers and senders is another core factor influencing entrepreneurship in the place of origin. Career goals plays an important part in entrepreneuring, as people who started, often the ones who were already intending to do so but were lacking support for it, or were in a too risky economic condition to start it. In a similar dimension, knowledge affects the investment of remittances in entrepreneurial activities, both knowledge in the form of formal education and in the form of know-how and human capital. The social-economic conditions of the households deeply impact on their ability and possibility to be entrepreneurial. Higher incomes may foster households to engage in entrepreneurship, as higher incomes would present less risk. Households in a decent and comfortable situation normally have their basic needs met. They are able to spend remittances in more long-term investments, such as educational progression and entrepreneurship initiatives. In addition, cultural aspects play a vital role in entrepreneurial investments too. In the Islamic communities, there was a significant expectation for remittances to be spent not only for the benefit of the direct households, but also for poorer families in the community and non-close relatives and acquaintances who might be in need. And finally, we aim to find in the studies examine key common factors stimulating entrepreneurial activities by households receiving remittances. Among the core elements identified, one can underline a stable local economy and a decent infrastructure as contributing for this entrepreneurship. Other factors, such as the mindset of remittance receivers and senders and households' income, showed a significant impact in this direction in most studies. The educational level and human capital of the receiving remittances also played a noticeable role. Cultural elements such as the household kinship seem to have some impact in certain contexts, although a minor one when compared to socio-economic variables. After examining these factors stimulating entrepreneurial activities among receiving households, it is possible to indicate measures to positively influence this entrepreneurial dimension and to amplify its impact on local development. Some measures we can suggest in this direction are to support transfer systems with reduced risks and prices, to improve financial literacy in the communities of origin, to make wise and sustainable use of the received money, to promote collaborative research and dialogue on remittances and migration among countries of origin and destination, to encourage migrant households to be agents of local change and progress in the communities of origin, and to provide appropriate structure for this change, enabling more long-term investments in local services and education through local associations. And finally, I'd like to express my sincere thankfulness for ICSSH to offer me the opportunity of presentation, and to my tutor Alini, and to all the others mentioned in the essay. Thank you again, and thank you for listening.